So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A to Z darts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.
Good evening, everyone. I gotta get used to that. I'm so used to saying good morning. Hey, it is Matt with Atomic Darts, and this is still Coffee and Darts. Now, yes, we have been talking about a potential name change to the show, and we're going to start off with that. Good evening, Lucas, and everybody else watching. Excited to have everybody here. Excited to be back. Excited to be talking cool darting stuff this past week, or at least there was a small tournament that happened this past weekend, and we will talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a new range by Shot Darts. We're going to talk about the naming conventions of this show and where we're going to go with that. And we do have a winner for naming the show. So these are all some of the fun things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about CDC events, the Champion Darts. So I want to say circuit, but it's not. It's corporation, Champion Darts Corporation. What's going on with them? How you can get involved with Q School for them so that you can become a professional darts player. And their events that are coming up. They have released the events for this year. We're going to be talking also about someone's special birthday today. So let's kind of get into it. We're going to start with the news. And with that, we're going to start with the naming convention of the show. So for those of you that are new, I started Coffee and Darts back in 2020. It was part of something that came up out of course, the pandemic. I was doing reviews prior to that of product and other items, fun items that I thought the darting community should know about or would like to know about. And we morphed into doing more of a interview show and a show talking about darts as a whole. And so we tried some renditions prior to that. I did a podcast piece. I even did an Alexa show where you could basically say Alexa and you could hear what was going on in the darts community. That didn't last long. No one was listening to it. So anyway, thank you guys. I'm glad I am back as well. Good evening to Mark. Good evening, Bill, and everybody else watching. So anyway, naming convention for the show. So yes, last week we talked about potentially changing the name. Some people put in some really fun names. One of my favorites was Atomic Knights. Mr. Midnight, which is actually a Garth Brooks song, was one that was put out. I liked that, but the show's not at midnight. But it had some cool, I almost went with that. I will say Atomic Knights was the runner-up that came in from CJ. It ended up not winning. I put the voting out to my family and to some friends and to some others that have watched the show. And honestly, we're sticking with Coffee and Darts. I know it's gonna hurt some feelings. I may do an occasional episode that we call Atomic Knights, and we'll just have some fun with it. Maybe a later show, depending on the interview and who I'm interviewing. But Trish actually said that we should keep the Coffee and Darts. So Trish, you are the winner of a set of these fine Shot flight deck flights. So I'll reach out to you, Trish, and you will get you these, as well a set of the B-52 barrels that were manufactured by Shot. It was a product that we sold. We are talking about potentially bringing it back. We're going to see what happens with the show. We're going to see if the show gets some sponsorship and if we can make this a little bit more of a viable piece and extend to the show in itself. As you can tell, I'm going in and out, and it's because my really nice camera that I had previously, I sold. So I don't have as good a camera right now. So maybe if we do get a couple of sponsors, we could put some money into the show and have some more fun with it. So Trish, I will get in contact with you, and you'll get that set of darts, and you'll get the flight deck. But I do want to give the other set that I have here to CJ. CJ, I will also reach out to you unless you want to reach out to me. And I'll get you that for being the runner-up. And essentially, you were kind of my winner, but everybody else said we will just keep with the coffee and darts. So, guys, I drink coffee at night anyway. That's what I'm drinking right now, as you can tell. I love coffee. There are some fantastic coffees here in Tennessee. So, all right, there we go. Naming convention over. It's going to stay as coffee and darts. We're going to change up some of the graphics, though. We're not going to keep the same graphics. We are going to be doing interviews. Shot reached out to me and mentioned that they may help me interview some of their players, including Michael Smith, which, yes, I'm excited about. I may have Dylan on the show when we do that interview. Once we put that up, and then so somewhere in the next few weeks, we'll start throwing in some interviews. I'm going to try and get some of the old YouTubers that I've had an opportunity to work with in the past. Maybe David will want to jump in here. Maybe Jennifer will want to jump in here, and we will get some of them on, find out what's going on in the darts community, what's been going on, and talk a little bit of PDC and CDC and what's going on in Florida, and just kind of get an understanding of what's going on with the darts community. All right, so let's jump into the news. We're going to start off with a birthday. Let me get this up here. We need to wish Mrs. Mounts a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jen. Woo. If you guys did not know, Jen Mounts, who is like I don't know, we'll call her the goddess. Well, we'll call her the boss because she likes to be the work boss. We will call her the boss of darts and internet things because she was doing interviews in her bed for Whiny Wednesdays long before anybody else. But happy birthday, Jen. Hopefully it was a great birthday for you. So if you haven't, go to her socials and wish her a happy birthday. If you happen to know her personally, please go ahead and wish her a happy birthday as well. Do you want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors, Atomic Darts, of course, and Shot Darts. Shot has always been a friend of the show. They've jumped back in to do some stuff with us right off the bat. And Magic Wear, who makes our jerseys. I'm not wearing one of the jerseys today. It's hanging over there. I was lazy. I didn't put it on, but I'll be wearing one next week. And if you check out the guys from Bullseyes and Brewskis, they too wear a lot from Magic Wear. Jen helped design their stuff. So go check that out. All right, guys, let's jump into some of the news of what's going on around town. Let's talk about the Championship Darts Corporation. If you are not familiar with them, they are probably the premier league within the United States with an opportunity to get over to the PDC, or at least they've got great stepping stones and opportunity to play for America in the World Cup at the PDC or with the PDC. And they have a pretty good relationship with the PDC. So if you're looking at getting a PDC tour card or getting involved with that, you certainly want to be involved with Champ Darts Corporation. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what they've got going on. And we're going to start off with Q School. So they have their own Q School, and it starts actually this month, March 21st at the Virginia Beach Classic. Let me just pull this information up here so I can give it to you. Let's go. Events real quick. So again, we've got March 21st, Virginia Beach Classic. You can sign up and try and win your way into a tour card there. There's also April 12th, the Royal Canadian Legion. So again, Championship Darts Corporation is North America Darts. So it's the USA, good old USA, and it's also Canada. So it's both of those. So again, what we're talking about is Q School so that you can get a tour card. So this first one, which is again, Virginia Beach Classic, April 12th, the pre-registration fee, which is now open, is $40. On-site registration is $50. So it's only $10 difference. So 8 to 15 players, winner receives a tour card. That would be tour cards awarded are based on attendance at each event. So if there's 8 to 15 players, there's one winner. The winner of that will receive a tour card. If there's 16 to 31 players, top 2 receive a tour card. 32 to 63 players, top 4 receive a tour card. And 64 players and up, top 8 receive a tour card. Let's hope we can get at least into that 32 to 63 players and get 4 tour cards out there, okay? All players earning tour cards will receive $375 entry fee credit for 2024 Championship Darts Circuit. See, here it says Championship Darts Circuit, so it's the Circuit Championship Darts Corporation. See, I'm learning. I'm a learned person. The credit must be used over 3 separate tour weekends at $125 per weekend. So they'll give you more information. But again, that is for Q School. That's the first one that's in Virginia Beach. If you guys want to jump in on that. The next one is April 12th, and that's in Canada, the Royal Canadian Legion. And then also April 26th, we've got the Gulf Coast Event Center. It's at the Gulf Coast Event Center. So there's 3 opportunities. You can, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody's from the CDC watching this, if you want to drive up to Canada, or if you're from Canada and you want to come down to attempt to get your tour card, as far as I know, if I remember correctly, you're able to do that. So that would be the tour card. So let's get into the actual events that they have going on here. And this is what they've got going on. So if you get your tour card, this is what you're playing in. You got weekend number 1, May 17th through the 19th at the American Legion Post 331. They're in Brownsburg, Indiana. Funny enough, my dad and family are from Brownsburg, Indiana. And if you look up and they have a book about the history of Brownsburg, Indiana, you'll find my family there. And my name was actually in that book. So check it out. It's a pretty cool little town. Check out Brownsburg, Indiana. Weekend number 2 is July 13th through the 14th. There at the Holiday Inn Oak Bridge in Oak Bridge Terrace, Illinois. Another opportunity if you're a tour card holder. If you're not, go check out the tournaments. If they're close by, it's not expensive to get in. You get to watch some really great tournaments. Weekend number 3 is August 3rd through 4th, and that's in Wheeling, Illinois. I can talk today. August 23rd through 25th is still to be determined, so look for that on their website. That'll come up. Weekend number 5, September 20th through the 22nd, again in Brownsburg, Indiana. They are liking the Indiana there. So, again, you can get back in there for the September 20th through the 22nd. I promise you the weather will be nice and sticky. And then you have the Continental Cup Championship, which is October 18th through the 19th. Again, that is to be determined. But before all of that, we get an incredible darts event from the CDC, and that is the Cross-Border Darts Challenge. And let me give you some information on that. So, as you can see, this is April 12th and 13th. The event is in the evening on a Friday and a Saturday, and it is in Michigan City, Indiana. And I'm just looking this information up right now. I apologize. I thought I had it on my... Oh, wait, it's right here. Oh, no, it's not. That's PDC in news. I just want to give you guys some of the information that's going on with this, a little bit of the pricing, where it is, and who's going to be there, because it is an exciting event. This is going to be a lot of fun. It will be online as well, so if you're not able to make it to Indiana, you can certainly watch it online. But from the USA, we've got Doug Boehm, Jason Brandon, Stowe Bunce, that's a name you should know, Larry Butler, glad to see Larry still playing. We got Leonard Gates, Danny Lowey, Alex Spellman, and Jules Von Doggen also will be there. That's from the USA. Canada, we got Sullivan Bordeaux, David Cameron, love David, great player. Jim Long, the infamous Jim Long, Jake McMillan, John Part, still throwing the darts, and then Jacob Taylor. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Jacob Taylor, he kind of came out of the pandemic playing online. Jacob is a phenomenal darts player. Keith Way, and it's rounding out with a TBA. So they still got someone to be announced for that. So they've got ticket pricing, they got pre-pricing, a VIP pricing, gold tables, and standard tables. 2-day pass, VIP, so you get the VIP, which is a meet and greet with the players, and a gold table, which is front row seating. and on Saturday, it's $75. It's a great price. If you want just Friday night, it's $50 for the VIP meet and greet and gold table, I assume. Standard table's $22.50. Saturday night, if you can only make it out then, gold tables are $35. That's front row. Standard tables, again, are $22.50. So totally a good time to go with friends, throw back some beers, have a good time, watch some really fantastic darts. This is going to be an incredible show. They always put on a really good event. So check that out. Again, that is your cross-border darts challenge, America versus Canada, all that fun stuff that goes on with that. Tickets are now on sale. So I recommend that you check this out. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So that's your news, at least of what's going on around here. We're going to talk a little bit about PDC stuff. So let's jump into that. But beforehand, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this. All right, so Matt, what is that? Well, that is a new darts range that is coming out by Shot Darts, as you can see in the video. I have had an opportunity to see the barrels. They are fantastic as usual. Some are grippy, some are not as grippy. I've not physically held them. I believe that Emma is sending me a set to check out, so I will be showing those physically to you guys. But you saw the imagery, and as you know, Shot loves to do great artwork. These are darts that are in the AI idea. It's a range that they're coming up with. They actually had AI create a barrel design. They did not manufacture it because it was awkward, to say the least. It was definitely not something anybody would play. It might be something you threw at someone as a weapon, it almost looked like a ball. It really didn't look much like a dart. I don't think it would have any functionality, but it was kind of cool that they had AI design something, and maybe they'll continue down that road and maybe create something. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a dart holder created by AI. But the whole idea was just to have some fun with all the stuff that's going on with artificial intelligence and Chat GPT and all of that stuff. And so this is a cool looking range. It's got some really nice colors. You saw a little bit of that green in there. It's got some really nice bitey looking barrels that are going to grip the fingers. And they've got some really nice looking weighted, front weighted, middle weighted, back weighted. And then if you throw in the flight deck on those, it's going to be a fun looking barrel, fun looking set of darts, of course, in soft tip and steel tip. So when those actually hit my door, I will show them off to you guys that particular week, and look for those that are doing reviews to certainly have reviews on those as well, like Niels and some of the other guys out there that are doing reviews. So look for that. It is March 14th, so 10 days away. That new range will be out. Looks phenomenal. If you're looking to get a new set, trying something else for this new season, maybe wait a couple of days and see if you can get your hands on a set of those, because they really are nice. Again, the AI range from Shot Darts coming out in 10 days on March 14th. They will, of course, be available at A to Z Darts. They will have them up there. You can pick them up from there and any of your other typical darts retailers. But I'm a little bit of a fan of A to Z because I like the people over there and I like supporting America. So check those out. All right. PDC. Let's talk a little bit of PDC. There was this interesting event that happened this weekend. If you guys happen to watch some of that. It was the UK Open. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. Who wants what? Nothing important. All right. So if you did not catch it, it was a fun event. There were some Americans that were playing there. Unfortunately, none of the Americans did very well. They played well. I will say that. They just didn't advance. I didn't see if Matt Campbell was there. Forgot to check on Matt. Matt is a Canadian, comes out of the CDC. Again, a fantastic player, fun guy. If you've ever had an opportunity to play him online or in person, really nice guy. Jules was over there, unfortunately, played well, but just didn't have enough in the end. Danny played well. Again, didn't have enough. And the Soldier was there as well. And just unfortunately, North America was represented well, but didn't play well enough to really advance. I'm hoping to see that happen this year. I think we've got the talent and the representation within the PDC to start pushing forward with that. And then the talent that's coming alongside that, that we're currently building, is just going to continue to push. So excited about that. So let's get into it. Quarterfinals. We're just going to jump right into the quarterfinals. It was Luke Humphreys against Stephen Bunting. Stephen Bunting, of course, having a little bit of a resurgence. He had a couple of years where he didn't play well. He's done well in the World Championships. He has showed some stuff there. If you don't know who he is a world champion from the BDO days, and has kind of done a little here, done a little there. Finally won a tournament this year, and he did lose to Luke Humphreys, who is our current world champion, 10-2 in the quarterfinals. Ricky Evans, who was in the quarterfinals. I think that's the furthest he's ever gotten in a major tournament. He did beat Rob Cross in the quarterfinals to make it to the semifinals, which I believe is the furthest that Rapid Ricky holds the fastest 180. And Rapid Ricky, typically because of his speed at throwing, doesn't always land the dart where he needs to. And doesn't tend to get too far within some of these televised tournaments. But this time, he made it to the semifinals. I think it was his first time. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me, because I always love to be corrected. You know how that goes. All right. Damon Heta, just smoking hot against Luke Littler. Really was on fire the whole tournament. Played really well. Phenomenal. Doing really well. And then Dimitri Vandenberg against Martin Lukman. Now, I watched that match specifically, and I will say Dimitri won. Here's just a little bit of a going forward. He won the whole tournament, but he didn't look really good. He looked weathered, pale, not in shape, not healthy. Again, he did win the entire tournament, and he beat Martin Lukman, but it just wasn't. It was a good win, but I don't know. He just didn't look healthy. I didn't think he would go any further, but of course he did end up against Damon Heta and beat him 11-6. Looked good there as far as his darts, but again, didn't look really healthy. Luke Humphreys beat Ricky Evans 11-2. There was no doubt in my mind when that came up who was going to win that. I thought Luke was going to certainly take this tournament. He just looked like he was in a better place. But Dimitri came out and was stomping Luke. To be honest, he was really playing well. He plays a slow game. If you're not familiar with him, he does tend to play a slower game, slower matches. He gets his darts and he takes his time. He plays slow. Sometimes I think he does that just to get into someone's head, which he did with Luke. Humphreys, unfortunately, allowed Dimitri just to get too far ahead. He did have a resurgence, tried to come back, and made it a game of sorts. But Dimitri Vandenberg did win. I think it's his first major win in like 2 years. He just doesn't look. And now he injured his leg a couple years ago. I don't know whatever happened from that. I don't know if that's kept him from kind of doing the workout thing that he was doing prior. He just looked a lot healthier in a few years ago. He just didn't look. He looked like he hadn't had any sun. Just kind of unhealthy. And Dimitri, if you happen to be watching this, which I know you're not, man, oranges are good for you. Citrus and a little bit of sunlight, man. That's all I'm going to say. Happy that you won. Congratulations on the win. It is a killer tournament to win. It definitely sets up people towards world championship bids. So congratulations to you. Hopefully that all works out as far as the health thing. But congratulations to you in regards to that. Let's talk about upcoming events with the PDC. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Of course not, because that would mean I was actually ready to roll with this whole thing. What's up next? Oh, we have night 4. Oh, I do want to talk about Premier League from last week. I should mention that. Michael Van Gerwen was unseated from, I think it was 4 in a row, but he did not win last week. But we have that coming up. That'll be night 5 will be this Thursday. So check that out. If you're not familiar with the Premier League, some of the best darts players in the world get together and they kind of play this round robin-y type tournament where each week they play different players to start, going to see whoever wins the night. And then people will be dropped out based on those that aren't playing well, Peter Wright being one of them, which is sad because I love Peter Wright. He just never does good in Premier League. I don't know why. He just doesn't seem to. I think Peter retires soon. I think that's what we're going to see. I think he's won some world championships, 2 of them. He's won some major tournaments. He's just, I think he's at a point where he wants to hang out with his wife and his family and hang up the darts. He'd be a fun commentator. That'd be kind of fun to have him there. But so that's Thursday. Watch for that. But Michael Van Gerwen was unseated last week. And of course, we have the Player Championships coming up this weekend. Which number are they? We got Player Championship 5 and 6, March 18th and March 19th. I guess those are a little ways off. Oh, before that, we have the Belgian Darts Open, March 8th. My bad. So that's coming up. And then we have the Player Championships 5 and 6. Those are fun to watch during the weekend, just to kind of throw those on in the background or just to hang out and watch them. If you're playing darts, it's nice to have them in the background just to kind of check out what's going on, or if you're at home doing stuff or hanging out in the garage, whatever. Those are fun to watch and see who's doing what. They're pretty much, as you all know, held in a dark dungeon someplace, and you get a couple streams for those. I would love to see those a little bit more elevated, but there's quite a few of them, but I think it would be kind of fun to have different venues for that. But so that's what's coming up. We've got Premier League again this Thursday. Then it looks like we have the Belgian Darts Open March 8th, and then Players Championship 5 and 6, March 18th and 19th. So keep an eye out for that. Look for some fun darts from the PDC, as well as what's going on with the CDC here in North America. I did not check on what's going on with the Florida guys. I need to check on that and see what tournaments are going on. If you guys are in the news about tournaments, you're welcome to drop them in the chat. Let people know about tournaments that you have coming up in your area or that you might be working on. I know the guys at Bullseyes and Brewskis have a tournament that's coming up. I don't have the information in front of me, but check with those guys. They've got something going on there in West Virginia or Virginia that's got a number of big name players coming. Danny Lauby, I think, is going to be there. I think Jules is going to be there, and a couple other players to come check out and watch and enjoy that. All right. What next, Matt? What are we going to talk about next? We've talked about news. We've talked about naming of the show. We've talked about some new barrels coming up by Shot. I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on with me and darts in general. What's the deal? So I've had a lot of requests as to what happened, where I went, what's the situation, what's the plan going forward. We talked a little bit about it last week, but not in depth. I thought Roy was going to hammer me with some of those questions. He said he just didn't feel like putting me too much on a hot plate. I was ready for the questions, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some of those now that have come in from different people over the last week and actually the last couple of months. So I see one that there's the chair. I'm sorry, I'm jumping into comments. Chairman of the board, Huntington Way. Let's just show it. Think. There you go. That's what's going to be there. That is from TJ, one of the Bullseyes and Brewskis guys. But that's what's look for that. It's going to be a fun event there in West Virginia. I was actually just in Virginia this week. Had to drive my mom out to my aunt's and drive back. That was a lot of fun. Didn't realize I was as close to Bristol as I am, so I'm going to have to go catch a NASCAR race there. But all right. Back into some of the questions. So first question was, why did I stop doing the interviews and reviews and so forth? 2 reasons. One, we moved from California to Tennessee. That was a big part of it. And sadly enough, at the same time that we were doing that, the guys at Champ Darts Corporation, CDC, had asked me to kind of help with some stuff that they had going on. And I really thought I'd have the ability to get that done. And I didn't. And I feel like I may have put them under the bus a little by agreeing to do something that I just wasn't able to. So just want to say publicly, sorry, guys. I know it's been 2 years ago, but still, I apologize. Those are some good guys over there trying to really make darts happen here in North America. So, and a shout out to Tim Way and those guys down in Florida, because they too are trying to really drive some stuff in regards to darts here in North America. So that was it. Part of it was move. Part of it was just a transition with my family and my son, and just family in general, just kind of dealing with moving to Tennessee, as well as just dealing my son having some learning disabilities, some struggles with that. So being able to work with him and spend more time with him and just be a dad. So that was definitely part of it. Now both of them, Caitlin and Dylan, have asked for the show to come back. They like the show. It just wasn't going to be able to be done in the morning. I am now a carpool dad and do some of that stuff. So I wasn't able to pull that off at this point in time. Did I ever decide on a new name for the show? That's coming from William. William, you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the show because I talked about it then. No, actually, William, so I'll just answer that real quick for you. We're going to keep the name for now as Coffee and Darts. We did, and that came from Trish. She mentioned that we should keep the name, and I kind of proposed this to my kids. I proposed it to my mom, who's visiting, and a couple other people that have been a part of this show in the background over the years. And they thought it was better just to keep the branding of that than to change it up, maybe change the artwork. So we're going to do where I'm going to find a different coffee picture and stuff to change up artwork and maybe do that a little bit more regularly. Change the top artwork or the whatever, that front artwork. But other than that, Atomic Nights was the runner-up. I liked that one. I thought that was kind of cool. I had some logo ideas in my head. And we may use that occasionally. I might do like a late night show that's dark and gloomy, and I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know. So that's where that's at. So we're going to keep it with just Coffee and Darts for now. If something big or substantial comes up, if a cool sponsor wants to step in and put their name into it, we can do that. I'm good with that. I am actively looking for some sponsorship. That was one of the things last time. If I had had more sponsorship, had some money coming in, it would have made it more viable. But for years, it was just out of pocket, buying product to review it. Shot has always been gracious enough to send me product. They actually threw me a couple bones quarterly to help with the show. But there were costs of camera and software, and anybody that's done this understands that there is a cost outside of just the timing that you put into it, timing that you from family and other stuff. But there's a cost in equipment that you have to buy new equipment. And then if you're reviewing product, if it's not being sent to you, and Shot was the only manufacturer that was really nice enough to do that, I will say A to Z as well. Jen had some stuff coming to me. Excuse me. They also produced some jerseys for me. And so they were nice enough to do some of that. But for the most part, if you go back to the reviews and the other stuff that I did, it was all me purchasing product. And that it adds up, it takes away from other things. So if I can get some more sponsorship this time around, it's certainly going to help. I'm going to continue to do the show. I have an office now that you can see here in the background that I can go and not have kids or garage doors being opened in the middle of these. So I think it'll make things a little bit easier to also allow me to do interviews at any time of the day or night that works for someone else. So someone like Michael Smith needs to do it, and it's 1 o'clock my time, like 1 a.m. I can come to my office and do the interview, and no one's going to know the difference. We'll just play it the next week. So there you go. So and Michael Holdman's in here. What's up, Michael? By the way, Michael Holdman's son, dude, he's a baller. I'm telling you that. Dude, you need to post some of those videos, man. That dude's solid. Good morning, Larry, or good afternoon or evening or whatever it is. So Atomic Nights. Yeah, I got to say, I do like that one. But we're going to keep with the Coffee and Darts for now. We may switch it up. Who knows? Maybe I can get a sponsor that'll kind of throw that in there, and we'll do a couple, I don't know, maybe Thursday nights we'll do that. Who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, so back to the potential as to why this kind of shut down. Those are the two reasons. We were moving, kids, we got here. I had grand visions of a really cool studio. I actually bought stuff to do a really cool studio that I never ended up using. I ended up selling it to someone that I know that does YouTube. So a really cool lighting system and some other really fun stuff. The idea was to do that and try and drive in more traffic in regards to interviews and do some stuff. I was going to work with the guys at the CDC to try and drive more interviews and do some going to tournament stuff. That is still in my head, is to maybe go hang out with Will and USA Darts, as far as what they've got going on, try and do some of those on the road interviews. Now that I live here in the East Coast where there's a little bit more tournament action, that might happen. That's a very much a possibility and an option for me. The other thing is I have this vision and dream to do coffee and darts, as in like have a coffee shop with darts there. And during the day and in the morning, it's coffee and darts. And then in the evening, maybe that's where we get Atomic Nights and we do the whole 90210 thing. And we turn the Peach Pit into Peach Pit After Dark. Don't ask me why I'm doing those 90210 references. My wife, Mrs. Atomic, wanted us to start watching the show. So we're on season 1. But maybe that happens. Xandra, what's up, girlfriend? So good to see you. Hope you're doing well, healthy-wise. Back's doing well. Dart chicks. There we go, dart chicks. So anyway, those are visions and dreams and ideas that I have for doing something, is like really blowing this thing up. But for now, we're going to stick with this and then try and get out to some tournaments. Or there are some cool local darts pubs regionally. There's nothing really right here, but we might get out and check those out as well and try and do something more live. Cameras have gotten easier to work with to do live stuff. There's now little cameras that you can stream with. And so things have gotten a lot better. And of course, phones, just these things. Look, coffee. Fred's Roast. If you're not familiar with Fred's Roast, it's a Tennessee roast. Check it out. Really good coffee. Fred's Roast. There's a plug. Matt Hogue. Fred's Roast. Anyway, great coffee. Actually, that's what I'm drinking right now. So anyway, back to that. Those are hopes and dreams and fantasies that I have in regards to doing stuff with darts. Would love to do stuff for kids and darts and just kind of bring this up. Love to see it more used in schools, especially with kids with ADHD or ADD as something they can do, because it's very interactive. And of course, numbers. Great math, great things to do there. Those that play, no. So that's that. Other questions that I've gotten is, why didn't I come back sooner? I talked about it with a couple of people about coming back. I actually talked about doing a 24-hour like marathon comeback thing, and then someone else did a 24-hour deal after I'd done it in 18 hours. But I still thought about doing that during a world championship, doing a 24-hour, just kind of play-a-thon, whatever, and see what happens. And I may still do that. I may do a 24-hour like get together with a couple of people. We'll find a bar that's cool with doing it and do it on location versus just doing it in my garage where my boards are set up, or putting a board up here in the office and making that happen. I don't have good footage, unfortunately, to put a board up because I've got 2 desks in here. Some other stuff. I could put it on the door. It's about the only place I could put a dartboard, but I'd have to lock the door so no one walks in and gets dinged in the eye. But that could work. But again, I think we're going to try and find like a local pub, bar, darts facility, something, and we'll do a 24-hour darts marathon. Maybe at a tournament. Be kind of cool. Just be a guy that's kind of wherever the practice area is and just play for 24 hours and people can come talk and be on the show. Maybe we can work that out. Jen, Will, what do you think? So that's something, but I've always been asked, and I wanted to come back during the World Championships and be like, hey, what's up? And do that, but I didn't. If you put a dartboard on the door, it'll sound like a raving nightclub. boots and pants and boots and pants. Thanks, Michael. Funny enough, the building that I'm in is about 120 years old and was a school at one point, and the floors are wood, and there's a basement below me. So it would sound quite interesting in here. There's a clogging school in this building, and on Tuesday nights, reason I'm not doing the show on Tuesday nights, they walk up and down the halls here as they're going back and forth from the 2 classrooms that they have and the dance hall, which is right here. See that? That was a window, which you guys can't see. I'm going to do this. See this up here? That's a hood because I'm in where the kitchen was. They turned this into like a little office. It was a mess when I got it. I'm in where the kitchen was for the school. And that right there was a window that goes to the cafeteria behind me, which is now a dance hall on Friday and Saturday nights. There's line dancing and square dancing and other stuff. They've actually done wrestling back there. So Matt the Hood. Thanks, Michael. Matt the Hood show. So, and there's a really cool basketball. Maybe I'll do something in the basketball. Maybe we'll do some crazy. We'll do some like, what is that? What are those guys? The dudes, I can't even think of their name. The guys that do all the trick shots. My kids watch them. Maybe we'll do some fun darts trick shots in the gym, and I'll just bring some cameras in there. Who knows? All right, I digress. Back into what we're up to and where we're going. So, again, it just took some time for me to really feel like getting back into the show, but I'm excited. Man, I'm excited to be with you guys. I'm excited to hang out with the darts community. I'm excited to go to events, maybe play in some events. I still have been playing. I've been playing against the animals there on Darts Connect. Darts Connect on my grand board. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, really. And still enjoying throwing darts, and we do that regularly. We do play a lot of disc golf, as you can see behind me. Those are 2 tournaments I played in here locally. Dylan enjoys the disc golf, so we do some of that. And then, of course, we do play darts. We enjoy that as well. He's never stopped. He still has a board in his room. He kind of plays with his friends, but they're more into basketball. Michael Holman. Sharon Butler. Sharon Butler's on the show. Excited that your husband is still playing. Excited to watch him play this year in the CDC. So if you guys are not familiar with Larry Butler, get familiar with him. If you're new to darts, you need to see the history of that man. He is an icon in the darting community here in North America, especially in America. He got John Part up north, but Mr. Butler is definitely a cool guy to hang out and talk with if you get an opportunity to. So that's kind of what's going on with the show. We're going to continue this. We're going to grow this. We're going to do some interviews. Again, Michael Smith is, from what I was told, definitely is an option. And I'm hoping to bring in some like David Llewellyn, bring him in for some stuff in regards to how to play darts. If you haven't watched him, he's a great guy out of the UK. Of course, we'll get Jen Mounts in here. She and I have already talked about coming on the show, and they've got, she has access to some people. There's some other people that we can bring in here. I don't know what the bearded guy is up to these days. I know that he was playing CDC last year. I don't know if he still has a tour card, if he's planning on playing. I'm not a whole sure what's up with him, but we'll see if we can get him in here. Will Stewart. We'll try and bring some of the older people back into the groove and do some stuff with them. And then talk with some professional darters from the PDC and, of course, the CDC. I got to reach out to them and see if I can have some chats with some of their guys. But that's the idea, guys. This is going to be more interviews. We're going to do the news pretty much every week, talk about what's been going on in the darting community. And I'm going to try and bring you a product review weekly, whether it's an upcoming product that's happening. I'm going to have to go out and buy some product. Shot's going to send me some stuff, but they only release so much stuff every year. So I'm going to need to go ahead and purchase some items. So if there are some that you're interested in knowing about, please drop them in the chats or just let me know, and I'll see what I can do about purchasing those so that we can talk about them. Because that's part of the game here, is I wanted to let you know what's going on with darts and keep you informed. Anybody wants to be on the show that has something interesting to talk about in regards to the darts community or what you've got going on or something you've achieved, why not? That's what the show's for. It's for the darting community. I have had some people on in the past that people question, but they were part of the darts community, and there's been some really fun conversations that have happened because of that. So we will do that. We will also dig up some dirt in regards to if there's controversy out there. We will talk about it, because why not? That's what the news is all about, right? Controversy. I don't know. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I am going to talk ladies darts because I'm a huge proponent of all sports. Let's just talk about this. All sports, because this has kind of been a thing for the last couple of years. This is the one sport, and yes, darts is a sport where, in theory, it's a very even playing field. Now, I will say, and as you know, playing darts, when you get into tournaments that have longer sessions, you have to play more legs, more sets. There's a conditioning situation in that. Women can do that. They just need to practice for it and condition for it. The men's darts tend to condition for that and practice for that because that's what they're used to playing. But you've watched tournaments. You can see the guys that really are not conditioned and start to kind of windbag it when, it's best of 21. When there's longer play that's happening, you can see the guys that just really aren't holding it, and they tend to drop back. Sometimes they come back and surge, but the guys that have worked on having better breathing, leg strength, all of that, tend to do better, and it's also a big mental game. I think this is the one sport where the playing field can be very even. We've seen that with Fallon. We've seen that with other female darts players able to do stuff. I just think there needs to be some coaching and conditioning to make it more leveling them up, so to speak. But again, I think this is the one sport because everything is the same. There's nothing different about it. It's not swimming. It's not baseball. It's not football. It's not a physical interaction where someone's giving a forearm shiver to a girl. It's not wrestling. It's not soccer. It's not auto racing, which you would think is kind of a leveling thing, but there is a difference, bottom line. So in any case, I will talk about that. I will get on my soapbox and I will push for women's darts. Love it. One of the products that I gotta buy, I keep forgetting to do this. Jot down a note right now. Where's a pen? Pen. Dart shoes. Buy. Dart shoes buy. You can see it right there. Those are some of my notes. Darts shoes buy. There is a manufacturer who came out with an actual dart shoe. I have forever said someone needs to do this. I should have done it, but I didn't. We're going to buy some dart shoes, and I'm going to show them off to you guys because there is a manufacturer of dart shoes. I think they're still around. I saw them a year ago and went, oh my, that almost brought me back, to be very honest. I almost bought a pair of those to come back and be like, okay, someone made them. I have to do this again. Very close. Harlem Globetrotters. Thanks, Sharon. But, and I think Dawn is agreeing with me. Yay, Dawn agrees with me. I don't know what that's on. I'm assuming it's the girl stuff. But in any case, we're going to get the dart shoes. I'm going to buy those after this show. I'm going to go buy some because we've got to talk about shoes that are designed for dart players. Haven't seen any pros using them, but I remember when pros weren't using fixed flights on shafts, and now we see it all over the place. So excited. Hopefully that'll catch on. Maybe I can get my own atomic dart shoe. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm excited about that. All right, guys. We're going to close the show out, I think, right now. That's where we're going to go. We, again, really quickly are going to, just in case you didn't know it, say happy birthday to Jen Mounts. Happy birthday, Jen. We're excited that it's your birthday. Hopefully it was a good one. I'm not telling anybody how old you are, but you're not 40 and you're not 30 anymore. That's all I'm going to say. Happy birthday to you. If you didn't know it was her birthday, go wish her a happy birthday. Other than that, it's been a blast chatting it up with you guys. Just want to point out real quick. Don't forget the 2024 Championship Darts Circuit, brought to you by all these wonderful people at the bottom. But here are your tour dates. Don't forget this guy right here, the Cross Border Darts Challenge coming up in April. That'll be definitely televised, as far as it'll be on YouTube and probably on the Facebook. Check that out. Don't forget Q School if you want to earn your own tour car so that you can play in this or some of these. That'll be awesome. So don't forget all that stuff. Thanks, everybody, for watching this week's episode of Coffee and Darts. Look for next Monday, and I'm going to give you a little hint. I'm going to be in the Bahamas next Monday, taking the family there for spring break. Going to be there with my parents. We're going to have a whole little family shindig. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it live or record it ahead and just play it. But watch. If this background's there, you know it's not live. If I'm sitting on a beach sipping a margarita, it'll be live. Who knows? Maybe I can find a darts bar there in the Bahamas. Anybody know of any good ones? All right, guys. Thanks for catching the show. I'm going to leave you with this little teaser and see you guys next week.
So you want to get into darts, but you're not sure how. We can definitely help with that. We're A2ZDarts.com, and we've been a darts specialty store for over 30 years. We have the greatest variety of darts in the country. But don't worry, we can narrow down that selection for you, whether you're a complete beginner or a full-on expert. We developed our own Colonial brand to offer an inexpensive line of darts, dartboards, and accessories, so you can get into the game without breaking the bank. Join our amazing community by going to azdarts.com.